Hello, 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 and welcome back to A Little Birdie Told You. I'm your host, Kristen Knight.
And I'm your host, Kelly Knight.
And today, we're going to talk about, do they like me? But I have the real question for you. Do you even like them? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Because everyone sits here and they always contemplate on, do they like me? Do they like me not? Oh, does he like me? Does she like me? I hear that question all the time. Do you think he really likes me? Does he like me? Why are you asking that? Do you even like them? So I'm going to talk a little bit about that today. We're going to talk about a little bit of the signs to know if somebody likes you. Okay, I'm not saying that's a wrong question to ask. But I think deep down, you need to discover if you actually like them and if you should waste your time, right? And not waste your time, but necessarily use your time wisely. Are they somebody that you should give your time to? Mm-hmm. So what is an indicator if you would say someone likes you, like an instant indicator?
I would say, probably putting a lot of time and effort into you, because I think a lot of people don't do that unless they even generally like you as a person.
Mm-hmm.
But if somebody likes you, I think that they take the time to ask how your day was, or just in general text you more than somebody would. You know what I'm saying?
I do want to say this might come across as effort, and I will admit there's some effort to it, but I do not necessarily think it's just a green flag as, oh, they definitely like me. Because sometimes I think other people, and I'm going to speak more on a girl's point of view or a girl's perspective over a guy's perspective. So as a girl, I think that if he likes you, a lot of girls naturally say, oh, he says good morning, he says good night. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, let me be for real here. A guy can say good morning or good night to 10 other girls, okay? That doesn't necessarily mean he likes you. Mm-hmm. He could text you good morning, good night, all this great stuff, all that jazz. But let me tell you something. If he's texting you good morning and you automatically say, he likes me. Come on now. Come on. That doesn't prove anything. That just says he said a good morning. Okay. I could say good morning to my neighbor. I could say good morning to the people at the store when I walk in. It doesn't matter. Okay. I mean, great. It's an indicator of it. Okay. He's putting in effort mildly, but that's why you need to know your own value, because you even like them. Do you like that they do that? Do they do enough for you? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? A simple good morning isn't going to cut it for me, okay? That's not going to cut it. Don't set your standards that low. Don't say, oh, good morning. Oh my gosh, he sent me good morning. No. That's not going to cut it for you, okay? You got to make sure that you're leveling it up a little bit. Where's the phone calls?
Yeah.
Where's the, he doesn't, even for girls, okay? You got to put effort into too to show that you like him, both ways here. But as somebody questioning someone, first of all, if you're questioning this, do they like me? They probably don't.
Yeah.
Because I think that people prove through their actions if they care, they like you. Mm-hmm. So I think if you're sitting here saying, do they like me? Do they like me not? They probably don't.
That's one thing though. People treat you the way they see you. Yeah. If somebody is treating you terrible and the worst you could possibly get out of someone, they don't like you, okay? And girls will sit there and second guess. I'm sure it's the same thing for boys, but like we said, we're talking from our perspectives. But in general, if a guy likes you, he's going to make that clear. Mm-hmm. And I literally tell a bunch of girls this. If a guy really likes you, you don't need to sit there and beg them to text you. If you have to do that, there's no point. They don't like you. A guy is going to make that clear.
Yeah, he's going to make it really clear. Guys naturally are going to express that they like you. Mm-hmm. Let me be honest. You won't have to do any of the chasing. Let him come to you. Mm-hmm. If he likes you, he is going to pick up the phone and call you. If he likes you, he's going to schedule plans to hang around you. If he likes you, he is going to do little acts to show you that he likes you and cares about you as a person, as a friend. You shouldn't have to say, oh, can we hang out? You shouldn't have to say, how are you? You shouldn't have to say all these things. Yes, reciprocate that energy. If a guy constantly is texting you and you're not answering and you're playing games with him, no, he's not going to text you anymore because he's probably going to get tired of the games. So reciprocate the energy. Don't play games. Stop playing games with people.
Yeah, I think that's the one thing people just need to stop doing is the games back and forth. If you're not ready for a relationship, bring it up to someone. If you're ready for a relationship, talk about it, communicate about it, whatever. Don't sit there and leave somebody undelivered when you're active. That's just plain way too immature.
Stop trying to play that game where you leave them undelivered because you think they're going to like you more. Mm-hmm. Sure, don't give someone all your time and energy, but actually sit there and think about yourself and say, okay, I don't feel like answering anyone, but don't go on social media and make it known, because then someone knows you're playing games. You're not going to attract a decent person playing games. You know what? You're going to attract someone who's the same way and plays games too. That's all you're going to attract. So if you're not into the games, stop playing the games, okay? Because you're just going to attract someone who likes to play games too, and they're going to play with you like you're playing with them. And you're basically manipulating that. If someone tried playing games with me, I'm done. That's it. I'll call the shots. We're done. Because I'm not dealing with that. We're not going to play games. You know what I mean? That's just not in the cards for me.
Yeah.
But that's why you sit there and you focus on yourself and question, do I like them? Do I like the things they do? Stop looking at somebody and putting them on a pedestal and looking at them and perceiving them as they're this perfect person. To be honest, if you like somebody, you don't really know everything about them. You don't know everything about a person until you actually spend time with them. So say you haven't really spent time with this guy or this girl and you're sitting there putting them on this pedestal and telling your friends, oh my gosh, they're so perfect. I just hope they like me. Stop doing that. They should be putting you on a pedestal. Put yourself on a pedestal. You didn't know this person. You didn't know this person a year ago, probably, unless you did, but you don't know everything about this person. So you can't sit here and act like they're this flawless character and they're amazing. You know, if they like you, great. But if they don't, you can't sit there and become depressed about it.
Yeah.
Don't self-criticize because they don't like you. It's just because they don't like you. And that's great for them. You should actually look at it as a compliment and say, they don't like me? Well, I like me. So that's great. You know what I mean? And if they do like you, they will make it known. You don't even have to ask that question. You don't have to say, you know, I'm sure people get in their head. Sure, they overthink. But if they like you, you're not going to sit here and keep questioning.
Like if somebody's playing the hot and cold game, like for me, that is just like, I'm done. That's like way too many games for me, because if somebody truly likes you, they're not going to sit there one day, like be all lovey-dovey to you and be like, oh yeah, I'm going to put all this effort in. And then the next minute they like act like they don't even like know you. You didn't talk that night. That's just like, that's weird, because they're probably talking to like multiple girls. And I'm not saying you can't talk to other girls when you're like in the talking stage or whatever. Or like that's the same thing for like, what is it? Like girls,
situationships
whatever,
and stuff.
because you're not actually committed to them. But like also don't sit there and play games. If you're no longer interested in that person, then like don't sit there and put all that effort in.
And if someone's trying to make you an option and saying, oh, I also have these people I want to spend time with, I have this, they really like you, you're not going to be an option. You're going to be at the top.
You're not the priority then.
Yeah, maybe if they're focusing on them and they have things to do for themselves, you know, pertaining to their own life, that's them putting themselves as a priority. That's great. You should want someone to do that, you know? But if you're sitting here and they have other people that they rather spend time with, then you're not their priority. They don't want to spend time with you. Because believe me when I say this, and do not make excuses for the person. If they say, oh, I'm actually going to go hang out with my friends, you're not the priority.
Yeah.
They don't like you that much. They might like you a little bit. Sure, they might find you attractive or maybe have like a little liking towards you, but they don't like you enough to spend time with you. Because if somebody wants to spend time with you, they put in effort because they like you.
Yeah.
They like you. They want to be around you. When someone likes you, they want to be around you as much as possible. Think about those first little feelings. If you like somebody, what do you want out of them? You want to spend time with them. You want to talk to them. You want to text them. You want to call them. You want to do all these little things and go hang out with them because you like them. You know what I mean? And if a guy likes you or a girl likes you, they're going to make that known, okay? And if you're somebody and you want them to know that you like them, you know, maybe give off casual little signs, but don't be the one chasing. Stop texting them if they don't text you. If they don't answer your first text, do not text them again, because obviously they don't want to talk to you unless it's like a thing where they're busy or something. But
yeah.
Don't sit here and put them on a pedestal and say they're this great person. They're amazing. They're everything, because you're everything. And you should look at yourself as, I'm everything, and I want someone to look me at like that. You know what I mean? And look at me like they care about me and want to spend time with me. That's why you don't sit here and question, do they like me? They're going to show you. They're going to put effort in it. I do think, though, to know if someone likes you, sometimes people are more introverted over extroverted. So I will say they might not talk a lot, but they still talk to you. They find ways to give you the signs. Maybe spending
I think if
time.
somebody really likes you, no matter if they're like an introvert or an extrovert, obviously I'm an extrovert, so I mean it's probably going to be a little bit harder, but still in general, if somebody's like an introvert and they don't like talking to like a lot of people, or they're just, I'm not going to say like quiet. There's nothing wrong with being quiet. You know, I get quiet sometimes too. But like in general, if you really want to talk to somebody, you're going to make it happen. But if that person keeps acting like distant, or like, no, I don't like you're not like also keeping the conversation going, that person's probably going to stop. So if you're like trying to get with somebody that is like an introvert, then you also need to like get the conversation going too. Because also like in general, some people don't know what to say, you know, so you can't sit there and like go back and forth.
And another thing is you have to reciprocate that energy.
Yeah.
So the same thing. You know, don't sit there and play a cold game on somebody who's trying to get to know you unless you don't like them. But don't play games. Just be simple and clear. Say, I just don't like you like that. I don't see you like that. Be honest and be clear. Don't play games with their head. That's not going to make anything great. Another thing is don't believe that just because someone compliments you and tells you you're pretty or you're attractive or you're this or you're that, that indicates a liking. Yes, people do say that. People do often, you know, tell you certain things to make you feel good because that's things people do when they like someone, right? They want to make someone feel good because they like them. But if they constantly shower you with compliments, especially at the beginning, like if you talk to them for one day and all of a sudden
there's like 50 compliments, I'd be like, whoa.
Because let me tell you something, if a guy compliments you the first time he looks at you, that means he does that to any girl he looks at. If he takes time and he compliments you maybe after a little bit of knowing you and say, oh, I did want to just tell you that you have really nice eyes or you have a really nice smile or I really like your style or your personality. That might be, that's a more simple indicator of someone liking you over them being like, I love this, and that you're this. Like, well, that tells me you probably told 5 other girls that too. And I'm not saying that. I shouldn't say that.
There's nothing wrong with compliments.
Yeah.
But it's like the way that they say it. You can tell if somebody's like just sitting there to be like, yeah, I just want to get with you because like, or like just be like, oh yeah, like to mess around with you. Like you can tell the difference.
But don't let simple gestures that build your self-esteem be the ones that indicate that they like you. Have the effort they put in. Someone who really likes you is going to kind of give off a more friend vibe, I would say. They want to be around you like a friend. And I would say those are the more genuine ones. If you find someone who wants to be around you and be your friend and just talk to you and be there for you, their intent is to get to know you because they care about you as a person, not because of your looks or the way that you make them feel necessarily romantically, but because they care about you as a person. And you want someone who likes you like that. Set your standards that way. That way you attract someone like that. But then you know, do I really like them? Sit back and think about somebody right now. If you are in a position where maybe you're questioning, do they like me? Sit back and think, what do they do that I appreciate? Because are these the things that are going to be enough for me in a relationship? Do I really like them? Do I actually like the way they make me feel? Do they make me overthink and get anxious about them? Or do they make me feel calm and positive and energized and feel like they're a good person to be around? Do they spend time with me? Because I want someone who spends time with me. Or do they ignore me and leave me undelivered? If you're chasing them, most likely, they don't like you. So why do you like them? You like the chase, obviously. If you like the chase, then I don't know what to tell you because you're just going to be playing a game every day with them. Yeah. They're never going to give you a conclusive answer. You're going to be running around playing with them every day, playing some game of, oh, answer me back. Stop doing that to yourself. Because the moment you let go of that person, you're going to sit and you're going to say, okay, I trust that someone who's meant to be is going to come my way. And they will. Someone who will try to get to know you. They're going to put the effort in. It's funny because one thing you notice about a lot of girls is they don't realize this initially, but they'll get, you know, attracted to some guy. And it's the guy they're always chasing. And then they have that friend that's a guy that they don't like, but he's always talking to them and always giving them attention. And they choose to ignore that guy. And that's the guy that's actually caring. That's the guy that actually is wanting to be there for them. And they chase the guy that could care less about them. Think about that for a minute because you don't want somebody who doesn't care about you. You don't want to like somebody who doesn't care because like you said that one comment about someone else in their phone doesn't have to be undelivered. Someone else isn't undelivered. And that's the hard truth of it. If a guy tells you, I don't want to talk to you, or if a guy doesn't answer you, or same thing for a girl, they don't like you. They don't want to put energy into you. So ask yourself, do you like that? Stop asking if you like them. Ask if you like their actions.
I would say like one thing though is like, I think a lot of people during like the first part of like a relationship or like a talking stage or just in general, you look at somebody's like more like the things that are good about them rather than their flaws. Because, and I'm not saying everybody has little flaws and there's nothing wrong with that. But like in general, if somebody's leaving you undelivered and sitting there acting like, oh yeah, you're the one that has to put all this effort in, or just in general, they're like giving you very like, I don't even know, like mixed signals. You know what I'm saying? Then they're not the right person for you. You know what I'm saying? That person needs to grow up and like go their own little ways with relationships, and you don't need to be involved in that.
Be selective with who you like. Like you said, not putting your energy into someone who's immature and needs to grow.
I wouldn't sit there and give all of your attention to somebody right away either. I think that's what a lot of people do, that like they mess up on. And then that person's like, all right, I already got them. And like, it's a weekend. This is like crazy, you know? And then they go and tell their boys that. And I know boys are probably gonna be like, all right, whatever, you're like annoying. But like, it is true. And like, any boy that's gonna sit there and say that's not true, then you're probably that.
Mm-hmm. But be selective with your energy, because you do feel the energy of another person.
Yeah.
You know, if someone's constantly texting you, if you're a girl and you like a guy and you're constantly texting him, he's going to feel that.
Yeah.
And it might scare him away, because he's going to be like, whoa, gosh, calm it down a little bit. But think, do you want to put all your energy into somebody? You want to put your energy into someone who's going to give you energy back. So stop doing that to yourself.
I would say another thing though is when a girl, like, okay, that's like, for instance, you like see a guy and you're like, oh, he's cute, but you don't actually know him. But then finally, when you get his number or something, you're like, you're all over him. And I think a lot of girls like mess up on that. Do not act like that, because that's just like, they're literally going to be scared. That person's probably just hanging out with you to get to know you. And then you're sitting there throwing all this pressure on them. Boys don't like pressure. Or should I say, like, actually, like, guys, men, whatever.
Stop chasing. That's my advice. Stop chasing the people that you like. Stop chasing all these people, because chasing kind of puts a lot of energy on the person to run. You know, if you force something, it doesn't happen naturally. If a guy likes you, he's going to find you. He's going to talk to you. And if he doesn't, then who cares? Someone else will. Or who cares if anyone does? You have yourself. You're good at the end of the day, right? Now, if they don't like you and you find out, oh, they don't like me, I thought they did, then who cares? Stop worrying about that. You like yourself, right? And if you don't, then that's not good. Then you shouldn't like someone else. Stop sitting here and putting all this energy into someone who doesn't care about you the same way that you care about them or care about yourself. To be honest, I don't even know if you like them. You know what I mean? Because if you really like them, you're going to like the way they treat you.
Yeah.
You know, you need to think about yourself at the end of the day. Think about the qualities you want in a person, and don't settle for anyone until you get those. Not the bare minimum. You have to set standards for yourself where you say, I want this, that, and that. Yeah, people might look at that as, oh, wow, that's a lot of standards. How do you expect that out of a person? Nobody's perfect, but you can say, you can set simple standards and say, I want someone who treats me right. I want someone who's honest. I want someone who takes time and puts effort into me. I want someone who spends time with me. I want someone who does this, and that. But things that are realistic, but you can find that in a person. And you will. And don't settle until you do.
And like I said, no matter, you can put your standards as high as you want. One day, people might make fun of you for it, but at the end of the day, you are going to find not at the end of the day, but you know what I'm saying? Like, in your lifetime, you are going to find that exact person that meets your standards, that has the same standards as you.
And you have to have trust. So if they don't like you and it doesn't work out, and maybe you don't know if they like you, then they probably don't. But if they don't like you, then that's okay. You're okay at the end of the day. You don't need someone else to like you for your life to be better. You're okay. You have yourself. And if that person doesn't like you, then someone way better is going to come along that shows they like you. You want someone to put the effort in, not someone who sits and lacks and doesn't act like they like you. You want someone who likes you. You want someone who puts that in. So ask yourself, do you actually like them? Because the moment you realize, you might be sitting back and I'm saying, yeah, actually, you know, thinking about it, they leave me undelivered. They don't talk to me, or not even deliver, but they don't really put any energy in me. They don't even notice me. Then stop putting your energy into them. Stop liking them. I'm not telling you can't remove feelings for somebody, but stop putting all that energy and investing it into them. Invest it into yourself, because when you invest energy into yourself, you're going to attract people that see that. Attract people that see, wow, they actually look like they take care of themselves, and they look like they really care about themselves. So it makes me want to care about them, because they do all these things, and it looks good on them. I want to be around them. They seem very positive and light. When you sit there and you're negative and you say things to somebody, why don't you text me? Why don't you just? It's a lot of negativity, and a lot of people don't like that. Guys like fun and light things, and so do a lot of people. Girls like that too. So I think I will say another thing though is effort is probably the primary characteristic of somebody that likes you. I will say that is the one thing you will notice. Not little things, big things. Less talking, more acting, I would say. I would say they want to see you. They want to be around you physically over talking to you over text. If somebody you constantly say, oh, do you want to hang out? And they're like, oh, I'm busy this weekend. Okay. They're busy.
And if they can't hang out with you, they're going to want to call you or something, because
they'll make
that's just like in general. If you can't be around somebody, you're going to want to like hear their voice and stuff. You're going to want to talk to them.
That's like the big thing is they want to spend time with you. They want to be around you.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't ever come around and, you know, you've been talking to them for like a week
and they don't want to give their time to you, they don't like you.
Yeah, that's the big thing is, do they give their time to you?
Mm-hmm.
You know, a simple hey or a simple smile, or they stare at you, that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
They're going to want to make plans with you. You notice all of a sudden you see this one guy, right? And you text him and say, do you want to hang out? And he's like, no, I can't hang out. I'm doing this.
What in the world?
This other guy is, you ask him, do you want to hang out? Which you shouldn't be. He should be asking you. Let's say that. Say he comes to you and he says, I want to hang out with you sometime. Let me know when you're available. That's the guy that probably has a little bit more liking towards you than the guy that said, no, I'm good. That guy probably doesn't want to hang out with you. And he probably doesn't like you that much, because think about yourself. This is what I always say. I'm like, put yourself, because people are the same at the end of the day. People are people.
Think of it like, okay, think of the things you like to do. Think of the things that you would act if you liked someone.
Yeah.
Would you be leaving their text undelivered? Would you be sitting there being like, you'd want to call them, you'd want to text them, you'd want to talk to them, you know what I'm saying? Like, you'd want to see them. Like, if somebody's gonna sit there and be like, oh, like, no, I'm like busy, and I get it, people are like, get busy, but they're gonna make time for you. Like, that's that.
When they don't like you, they make a bunch of excuses.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't call because I have homework. Oh, I can't call because I have to do this. Oh, I can't call because I have to, I don't know, take care of my goldfish. I don't know.
Goldfish?
Yeah, but they probably don't like you. But like that's exactly the point I was just trying to get across. Simply think about yourself. That's why I always say, ask yourself, do you like them? Because think about yourself. Say, what would I do if I liked this person? I wouldn't leave them undelivered. I'd want to spend time with them as soon as I could. Yeah, we do have lives. We're busy. But you would still make room. You know, you would still try to find out what they're doing or schedule something. So if they're not doing the things that you would necessarily do, they probably don't like you. Because if you liked them, you wouldn't treat them that way. If you liked them, you would still invite them around. You know, maybe they are hanging out with their friends, but they'd say, well, you know what? You should come along too.
Yeah.
Or we should hang out next weekend. Let's do it. Or maybe I can't hang out this weekend, but I can hang out this day. They make time, or they try to. Another thing is they won't make you feel bad. I notice when people like people, they kind of like don't like to leave off on the wrong note. They don't like feeling like there's some sort of negative impact they made on you. They want everything to kind of be like, okay, I want to make sure they kind of like me. So maybe they overthink a little bit. You notice that if someone likes you, they overthink. Be confident. Be confident in knowing everyone likes me. If they don't like me, I know everyone likes me. Be so confident in yourself with your standards that you know they like you and you don't question it. Don't question it. Say, I'm so confident in myself. I value myself that I know that they like me. Because when you have that energy, they actually probably do, because people like that confident, radiant energy that makes you feel good about yourself, because people see it. It makes people put you on a pedestal and look at you and say, wow, they really like themselves. I really like them too, because they feel that. It's all about your confidence and the way you present yourself. Walk in like that, because everyone likes you. Do you notice how there's that one person that is so confident in everyone that likes them? They know everyone likes them, and you know it, and everyone does like them. Yeah, because they have that energy.
Confidence is key.
Confidence is key. So if you want them to like you, just be yourself, but don't force it. Don't say, do they like me? Do they like me not? Say, I know they like me. I know everyone likes me. I like me. Why wouldn't they like me? That's what you ask yourself. I don't mean that in an arrogant way, but you should have that confidence. Don't sit here and self-depreciate yourself. Be confident. Say they like me, because everyone likes me. I mean, you have to like yourself enough to say that. So don't like someone else until you know you like yourself.
And this is like a reminder, the talking stage is to get to know someone. If somebody's doing something or doing what am I saying here? Doing something that like you don't like, put that to the side and remember that. Like, keep putting it to the side. If somebody keeps doing stuff you don't like, and it comes to like a list of stuff, they're not the right person for you. And like I said, people have flaws and there's nothing wrong with like certain things. But like at the end of the day, if somebody's going to keep acting like weird and stuff that you don't like that stuff, then they're not the right person. And I think a lot of things, like another thing is like people like want like to like pressure and make a label on it. And like I even tell Kristen about this like all the time, because I'm like, it's true. Like people want to rush things so much just to be like, yeah, this is my boyfriend, this is my girlfriend, whatever. When if you get in a relationship and you don't know that person, then like why are you getting a relationship with them? You know what I'm saying? And obviously it does take time to really get to know someone. Like you even have to kind of get in a relationship to be like, yes, I know this person. And gradually you get to know someone as time goes on. And that's even as like a friendship too. But like you need to like calm down. They're not going anywhere.
Yeah, and that kind of agrees with, yes, they've showed signs that they like you, they're putting effort in. And you want a relationship with them. You really want a relationship.
Honestly, just be mellow with it.
Just
if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, look at it as another guy will, another girl will. Like, there's nothing wrong with just being like, whatever happens, happens.
Just enjoy the time. Don't sit there and say, okay, well, it's been 2 months now, and we're doing the same thing. He puts effort in, and we talk, and we hang out all the time. Just let it be. You know, just let it be. Now, if it's like 2 years and you're doing the same thing, then I would have a talk with them, because I don't know what's going on then, and I don't know. But if you're sitting there and time is just kind of moving slowly in your eyes, stop putting so much pressure for it to have a label. It's really not going to change that much. It's just going to add a label
if
to
you
the
know you guys are
relationship.
talking and you know there's still something there, take the time and just be like, let me get to know them while I can. Because once you're in a relationship with someone, you can't go back and like get to know them again and restart over. Once it happens, and there's really no going back. Because if you don't like that person and you got in a relationship with them, that's kind of your fault, honey, because you didn't get to know them.
Yeah, and then you basically just wasted all that time pushing it to get a label for, I don't know why, a sense of security, when really that's not going to help. That's not going to help. You get to know the person. Watch them. That's why I said question yourself.
Especially when you're around them, though, in person. Like, I think being in person, though, and, like, getting to know someone, like, says a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody over text does not mean nothing.
And like we said, you are a reflection. How they treat you is a reflection of how they feel. So if they treat you well, if they put you kind of on this pedestal and they look at you in a positive light and treat you very well, then most likely they do like you. But make sure you tune into yourself and ask yourself, do I like them? Yeah. Do I like them? Do you like them? Do you like the way they make you feel? So at the end of the day, it's about you. And do you like them?